Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game. It's showtime, folks. Hope you're having a great day. Great start to your Tuesday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good morning to you, Chase McCabe. Now, before anything else, you got to tell the story off the go, man.
I've got to tell this story.
This is great. Listen to this, folks.
All right, listen. I think anybody out there, we've all had, and look, maybe this is God's way of telling me I shouldn't have stopped at McDonald's this morning.
Yes.
Like, I think that's what this is. But look, there's times where you kind of like, man, you either craving it or you're in a hurry, and it's like you go through the drive-through. So I just wanted a sausage biscuit. That's all.
No more, no less.
Yeah, just a sausage biscuit. I did get some hash browns because I'm driving. That's good for the drive. So anyway, I stop at the McDonald's on Charlotte Pike. I'm just gonna throw this out there into the universe and order a sausage biscuit, hash brown. Okay. So I get here. And I literally texted you guys right after this happened. I ate the hash brown, everything was fine. I noticed that it wasn't in the wrapper like it usually is, but I'm like, okay, I guess they got new containers or whatever.
Right.
I opened it up. It was just the patty. There was no biscuit. And I was so dumbfounded that I couldn't even be mad. But then in my head, I'm going, who thought this was a good idea? Who thought you could get away with this?
And you're already gone.
So I'm gone. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I could do. I just have a radio show that I can call them out on. But I'm just like, oh, yes. I don't what in the world? I want it. So it kind of reminded me when I was when I was a freshman in high school, we had to write a research paper that was 10 pages or something like that. And so we had a month to work on this thing. We do it, turn it all in and everything. And we're sitting there and the teacher starts grading them and all that. And I just hear our teacher, just in the middle of silence go, Andy, do you think I'm a dumbass? Just say it like that. And we're all like, what? And this kid had literally written one page and then copy and pasted it the rest of the way. That's what I thought of. That's what this felt like. Wait, were the biscuits out? You just are here, I'm just going to give them the patty.
It makes me laugh because you have no recourse. You can't go back. You're late to work.
No, I just don't understand it.
Let's go back to Andy for a second. Did he think he would get by with this? Because if he did, that'd be so ingenious.
Yeah, no, he did. He was something.
What class was this?
English. Or yeah, I mean it was English.
Oh man, there's a reel on Instagram. They're doing an exam, and this student found the teacher's Tinder profile, and he's married.
Oh no!
And she submitted one page. And the second page was his Tinder profile. It was like what you're just talking about. Second page was his Tinder profile. She had a D in the class. He emailed her and said, "Great work. Here's your A." Kid you not. I kid you not. That happened.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yep. And I think his
blackmail at his fun.
His wife had just had a baby. So he's actually Tinder profiles holding the baby. And that's what he was doing. I tell you, man, kids today are resilient. Don't mess with them. Don't let it happen. So that's it.
Just had a baby, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Good
Interesting.
We got a special guest at 9:30 today.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, he's not. I mean, he's
not here.
He's not here.
Yes, Brian Callahan, Titans head coach, will address the media. So we will carry that at 9:30. So looking forward to hearing what he has to say. And then I think some players are speaking later too.
Which leads, I had a great question of the day, but we're going to flip it. And this is on the run here.
Okay. We are networks, affiliates.
Down the line.
We are pivoting. Please update your supers.
So if you had one question today, we've done this before, to ask Brian Callahan, what'd you ask him? What will you ask him?
That's a good one.
What would you ask Brian Callahan today? And if they said, Chase, you're up first. What's your one question for Brian Callahan?
How are you planning to split the reps between Cam Ward and Will Levis?
The perfect question. And mine will be, is Cam Ward running with the ones right now?
Yeah.
And if not, why?
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, he's going to be asked that. I mean, he's definitely going to be peppered with that question.
Or you could ask the Greg Pogue question. You know what question that is, don't you?
There could be a few.
Have you made your way around town yet?
Yeah.
To
He
get
does
around
ask that.
town.
That's a good one.
Always.
Or walk up to the podium and just slap 100 Cats tickets on the podium. Just smile and don't say anything.
It's like, what are you doing
Hey,
Saturday night?
Pogue, if you're listening, will you do that? Can you go over there today and just in the middle of the press conference, just walk up there and hand him
just
some cats?
Waddles up there and puts it down. And he's like, what is this? Like, I'll see you Saturday night. over
Bring your
there.
family.
Yeah, it'd be a fun night. Callahan should go to a Cats game.
That would
It's
be
fun.
awesome. That would be totally awesome.
Yeah.
He could come on our broadcast.
Yep. At halftime.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking live at Municipal Auditorium. Trace McCabe here. Well, got you going tonight. You need to bust out that voice Saturday night when you're calling the Cats
I can do
game.
that. Or I can do my old time that. Well, live here at the Municipal Auditorium, the Nashville Cats taking on the Oregon Lightning.
If you do that, then I'll do the same voice as the color commentator.
Holy cow, look at that. We got Bedlam here at Municipal Auditorium tonight.
Just do that. It's the call of the Hindenburg. You ever heard the Hindenburg crash?
Yeah. Oh, the humanity.
Oh, it's awful. But that guy just kept that voice the whole way through, man. It's like, what in the world is going on there?
That is something. 615 615-737-1025. That's our phone and
I gotta
text line.
interrupt. I'm sorry. Are we? Do I work with some chain smokers? What's
No,
going on
I-
in here? Are y'all
just-
okay?
James.
No.
Smokers. That's pretty funny. Yeah, you're right. I know. I mean, yeah, Chasers. See, Chaser
Not
needed the
chain smokers, not Jane smokers. I don't-
Chaser needed the biscuit to kind of, suppress
I
all
just
that
wanted my
stuff.
damn biscuit.
And I'm just sick.
I didn't get it.
always.
I
So
didn't,
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
get the biscuit. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. So our question of the day is, what would be your first question to Brian Callahan?
What do you want to hear from Callahan? I mean, we talk about the Cam Ward situation, but also other things. Are you going to delegate more duties, or are you going to? I mean, how are you approaching year 2 different than year 1? Because we had Jim Wyatt on here, and Jim Wyatt was like, "Yeah, there's a bit of him being overwhelmed with things. Now you got to delegate more and pay, more attention to this, less attention to that."
So that stood out to me when Jimmy said that, because I do think now that I've had time to kind of digest the season and think about everything. We talked about there were times where he was in over his head. I think he was overwhelmed. I mean, that was there are some guys that when they finally become a head coach, there's no doubt that
Right.
they were ready to be a head coach. And I'm not saying that he wasn't, but I'm just saying that I think he wasn't expecting some of the things that he had to deal with as a head coach. And I feel like he's going to be more prepared to do that now. I hope so. And I hope they give him a fair chance. Like, that's what I really want, because I like the guy and I want him to succeed. I really like the moves they've made this offseason. I mean, honestly, I like everybody that's involved in that organization now. I mean, I'm still figuring Brinker out, because I don't love that dynamic and how, to me, I've always been taught the general manager is, the general manager, and there's not a, president of football operations, then a general manager and all that stuff. And plus I don't trust the owner to stay out of the way, but
Right. And that's the thing.
but I want it all to work, because I like these people.
Well, the thing is, how honest and transparent can Brian Callahan be if you say, all right, do you talk to Amy once a week, once a month? And what do you talk about? And I know he won't get into it. I'd like to know just the fact that, yeah, we speak once a week, it's for an hour, just to know, and like maybe delve into it a tad bit about what you talk about, because I think that's kind of fascinating in a way. I don't think he'll tell us that, but I'd like to know, what do you talk? I mean, if I'm the owner, I don't know if
So
I
this
talk
is
to you
this is going to shock you.
better.
I don't care what they talk about anymore. I used to, But now I'm kind of like, number one, the owner doesn't need to talk to the head coach every week.
I think in the offseason, yes.
I don't.
I don't. It's
That's
my
what
team.
that's what
talking to you.
Okay, that's fine, but that's what you have people in place. That's what she put Brinker in place.
I don't want.
for.
I want to hear from you. I want me and you.
That's fine,
Mano
but
a
it doesn't
mano.
need to be every week.
If I had to go through Nick to talk to you, I'm not doing it.
That's fine, but I think there's too many times nowadays where people don't know what their lane is. They think that they get a title, and it just means, oh, I can just do whatever I want to do, and I can go, and even though you're in charge of being the head coach, I can go tell you what to do. And it's like, you can technically, you're the owner, you're allowed to do that, but that's not effective.
I would be more of you're Callahan. I'm Amy. Hey, Brian, you okay? Do you need anything? How are things
You really
going?
let yourself go, Amy.
Yeah, right. Jeez, what happened to you? I would be, but it's more of like, how can I help you? Not more of, what are you doing?
If that's okay, all right, fair point. If that is the conversation, if it's, hey, what can I give you? What do you need? All that, then okay, I'm fine with it.
Right.
Now, I still don't think it needs to be every week, but like, if that's the conversation you're having,
Yeah.
fine. But if she's like, all right, so how many reps are you giving Cam? Then I got a problem, because it's like, no offense, you don't know
You're
jack about that.
You're right. No,
Like,
you're exactly
go
right.
be I don't know jack about that. Like, go be the owner.
Yep. I'm with you,
So,
man. I'm all that's fine. I
as
just wanna
long
know.
as it's a constructive conversation that's not meddling and not, hey, you should do this, or I'm going to tell you what to do because I'm your boss, then I'm fine with
Okay.
it.
All right, I'm with you on that there. But that's I just want to know if there's other funny questions, others that you could say, hey, what's happening here about this player, that player. But that's what I would like to. But the Cam Ward thing is number one. That's the one that you want to figure out and see what's going ahead.
615-737-1025. What is the first question you would ask head coach Brian Callahan? He is scheduled to speak at the bottom of the hour. We will bring that to you live, as we are live today here at our studios, which of course is the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. More coming next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. You hear this song, what do you think of immediately?
James Brown, Rocky Foe.
Yes, Apollo coming out to the ring. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. On this Tuesday, our question of the day, Brian Callahan's going to speak in a little over 10 minutes. What's the first thing you would ask him in that press conference?
You only
today?
get one, man. Like Highlander, there's only one, right, Dr. Crane?
Right.
You know what the
There
Highlander
can only
is?
be one Highlander.
I'm really zoned out right now. No, Joe.
What's wrong?
What's
brother?
wrong, buddy?
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my car.
Oh,
Do
do you want to tell this story?
We can save it for another rainy day.
It's about the rain. About 30 minutes. So go ahead, man.
It was sort of pouring down right now.
Well, my car stalled out yesterday. I was on the interstate going to get my mom's birthday gift, and I heard this loud thud, like a boom, and it was like underneath the car. And I was like, "Oh, this could not be good. I don't know what this is." And as I'm getting off the interstate, all of a sudden I hear another thud, but more of a softer tone, that is. And I'm over there getting off the interstate into a turn lane, and the car ends up stalling on me. I'm like, what is going on? It goes into neutral, and yeah, I just had to turn the car off, try to turn it back
Ooh,
on.
That's
And
never good.
it sounded like I was looking it up online. It's called the intake manifold, which is a part of the front part of the engine. So it's where the cylinders connect. It's like a little slim piece of metal. So hopefully it's not, I mean, it's a 27-year-old car. It's as old as me. So it's probably corroded. You just got to buy a new one, but it's very hard to get to, which is a very, very pricey bill.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out how to.
Look, I've been broken down and so many times. It'll be okay.
It's
telling
not,
you right now.
It's not the
I've broken
down
down
part.
many times, and Joe's been there to comfort
Yep.
me. So
It'll be okay. It's okay.
It's not the broken down part. I've broken down in several different cars. It's just this one hurts because I literally don't have a car. I had my father drop me off this morning, and so yeah, it's tough. I really don't know where the money's going to come from, honestly.
Never mind. Okay. Well, we'll help you, man. We'll see.
I honestly might pick up a second job. I really might.
like
Yeah. Like after here, I'm going to get another job.
we'll
Might do that.
We'll help you figure it out.
I was gonna say Uber, but that would be rude.
On a bike.
I love you, man. You know, we're all brothers here. We're all brothers here, right?
In the
I would
chariot.
hope you'd make fun of me.
Oh no,
Please.
I don't think you're making fun of me. Let's go along with the flow. So I think I might go buy a horse and then a chariot and
Will
just.
you please get a horse?
I mean, they're expensive. They're as much as the fix on this car, so it might be honestly the right thing to do. I might go join the Amish.
Okay. All right. Well,
It'd be that
it'll
could
be okay.
I mean, they make good food too.
yeah.
So is your
Horses?
car now done? I mean, is it like to the heap?
I don't know. I had it towed to the auto shop. They're great people. They listen to the show, by the way. They love 102.5 The Game, so which is a good thing. So maybe
Okay.
that has some pull.
What if they go in there and check it out? Like, oh, it's no big deal. Fix it. Boom, boom. You're done.
Then that's great. As long as it's under about $5,000, I'm cool with that.
What if it is under $5,000? What if it's way under that?
Then
What do I tell you all the time?
then we're happy.
Don't suffer imagined troubles.
Well, it's better
Don't.
to suffer that now.
No, it's not.
Because
what's
if
it
it-
doing to you?
Well, it's
Stop it.
it's making me a nervous Nancy.
Stop. We don't suffer imagined troubles. We don't. This
Fair.
could be
But I
better.
get it. I get it though. I mean,
Thank you.
I get it.
We're changing this. We're gonna help you out here.
He's right. Keep a positive mindset, but also I understand. I understand the
It's a part of adulting.
Sure.
But
I
why
get
do you
it.
want to do that? Don't adult. Forget that.
You're right, Joe. Just be a 5-year-old every day.
I
wish
don't want to
could.
grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Oh, Chase, how long did you
Because
work
I
at
wanna
Toys R
be
Us
into-
for?
2 summers.
2 summers.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you play video games on your break?
No, but it was fun. I became the video game and wrestling expert. So
You went, hey, Michael Lester. Hey, Chase.
yeah, that's where I met him.
Okay,
It was
good.
615-737-1025. What would you ask Brian Callahan? Ben said, I would ask him, what is the harm in letting Cam sit for a year?
Oh,
It's a good
that
question.
is a great one.
Keith says one thing no one talks about is that he was calling plays and head coaching as a rookie head coach. Maybe that's why he was overwhelmed. I mean, sure, we've talked about that.
But if you know going into that, if you're gonna be overwhelmed because of that, then don't do that.
Yeah. But I mean, he kind of admitted that.
Yes,
Like,
he did.
He admitted that was a little bit more than he thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Justin says, Amy, hey, Brian, how are things? Have you gotten settled in Nashville okay? I wouldn't get too settled, though, if you know what I mean. Let's just say the bye week is the deadline. Great talking to you. Have a great season.
Oh, yes.
Austin would ask, what are you doing here, Brian?
Oh, man.
That was good. Ron weighs in and says, hey, Chase, maybe you just got the wrong order. I got my 2 hash browns and my drink, and I don't think it was that.
But is there an order of just a biscuit without the
guess.
middle?
They could have misunderstood. I don't know. Maybe I should look at the receipt, see what it says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I want to hear a little mea culpa after you look at the receipt.
Oh, there will be no mea culpa. Because here's the deal. Listen. I made the order. Listen.
Okay.
I don't accept mistakes.
I love it. I
don't
love
accept that. Not no.
Okay.
Ron also says if the Titans would have been aggressive earlier in the offseason, we could have a good veteran quarterback in Myles Garrett because he really wanted out of Cleveland. We probably would have been a 10-7 team. I don't think they ever wanted to get a veteran quarterback. This was the plan all along.
Yeah,
they
I
had the
agree.
first overall.
Or they would have made a really aggressive attempt after Aaron Rodgers if they wanted that.
Wes in Clarksville says, do y'all think that Purdy got overpaid?
No.
I mean, they all get overpaid, but
No.
I thought that was a fair deal.
I mean, it's what, 4 years now, or he's been 21? Was it 21 he came in the league?
Yeah, I mean, he just re-signed.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. You're right. They're all gonna get overpaid and let it happen. So good for him.
It's the price of doing business.
It is business.
Business. Mervils.
Don't do it. Don't.
Chasing Big Joe presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. Coming up next, you will hear from the Titans head coach, Brian Callahan. He will address the media. We'll hear what he has to say. Tune in Sunday for the Indianapolis 500 and 102.5 The Game. Coverage begins at 10, and it's all brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree beer. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Tuesday. Brian Callahan will be addressing the media here in just a second. A couple of other questions that people are wanting to know. Kevin said, I would ask, hey, Brian, when you scream WTF are you doing on the field, were you upset about the play or did you just realize Levis put some mayo in his coffee? Kevin in Florida.
Good job, Kevin, on that. And I would say, tone the language down a little bit too. We don't need that much.
Well, he
cursing.
was quoting Brian Callahan. There's a person that doesn't listen to this show because of that.
Really?
And I don't care that they don't listen to the show, but like it cracks me up
because of the language.
Because they made it a point to walk up to me one time and say, because you joked with them about language and stuff, that they thought you were serious, that they refused to listen to you.
Is it that weirdo Preds fan that wears a mask?
I don't know.
Won't trade for anything that won't eat. Okay. Well, too bad.
This cracks me up.
They
think they know more than they do too.
There is what's funny about press conferences. I don't know if you remember this years ago, but there MTV Video Awards were happening, and there was a guy sitting in the second row, had like long hair and a beard, and like dressed like Steppenwolf from the 1970s, and nobody could figure who it was. It was Jim Carrey. Right? He would sit there, and the camera would be, and nobody, like, they're like, we don't know who this guy is. How did he get here? And he looked nothing like Jim Carrey. I would love to go to a Titans press conference and dress like nobody had a clue and ask the dumbest questions of all time.
Great.
It would be, of course, the curmudgeons of Paul and Rex Road and Glennon, if he's awake, Beauclair would all be upset, like, oh, what's going on? This is not.
No, Beauclair would probably laugh.
But I just think it'd be fun just to sit there and do that, man. Wouldn't be bad.
Faux show.
Faux show. Dr. Crane monitoring the feed now from Titan Central. Look, are you mad at me? Look,
No,
we're buddies.
Guys,
I'd do anything in the world for
I'm
you.
not mad. I'm good.
We're going to get that car fixed.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel
I
all
also got
better.
some good news about Skillet this morning. I talked to my uncle because my dad and him, they're brothers. He said that
That's
Skillet
generally
is,
what
yeah,
that's how that works usually.
Skillet
Nice.
is the biggest of the litter.
Oh, good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy.
He's the loudest of them all, too.
Ah.
Squeals.
For those that don't know, our esteemed producer, Dr. Crane, has bought a pig.
Hog.
My bad. When does he turn from pig to hog or hog to pig?
It's a certain weight and also something about the testosterone. And it's a lot of, don't want to get into it.
When do you pick him up from daycare?
I think June 22nd is when I go to Markham again. And then after that, we're saying the will.
Okay. That ride's going to be awkward when you're taking him to get processed.
It's going to be
Hey,
pretty cool.
buddy. Are you excited? Where are we going?
I don't have to take him. Somebody's
What is-
driving him.
What is this place?
Oh,
What's-
this is great.
Why does that guy got a shotgun?
I just point out, like, that's the guy right there. The one that has the tail that's spinning.
Hey,
Yeah,
what are
that's
we,
mine.
wait, what's this room we're going in? Wait, what are we doing?
Back in a little
Dad.
bit.
Wait, where are you going? Wait, what is that?
And on tomorrow's menu, we have spicy sausage along with some pork ribs. It's going to be delicious.
Something smells real good. Wait, is that
Right.
is that my brother?
I got a serious question though.
Sure.
When you pick him up, do you make eye contact with him? Because that'd be kind of awkward.
Eh.
No.
Sure. I mean, look, Joe, I have desensitized myself from this hog.
You gave him a name.
Yeah. I mean, that's somewhat desensitized. Like, I
Not
don't,
really.
well, I mean,
That's a sign of attachment.
Right. You mentioned Skillet. Chase and I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
you
I
gave it a name.
I'm talking about physical, like, attachment. Like, I have zero physical attachment to him. Like, I'll feed him from afar. I mean, I'm not talking
Look,
to
I'm
him.
going to be 100% honest with you. Like, this is cool that you, I mean, what,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, I'm not picking on you. I could not do this because I would get too attached. Let's go to Brian Callahan.
Phase 2, we'll start our OTA phase 3 work next week. So excited about that. We're kind of done with the phase 2, ready for the next step and get a chance to actually do some real football, offense versus defense and all that stuff coming up next week. But for now, we got one more week of phase 2 and getting some good work in. It's been a productive off season from that regard, and excited to get to the next phase once we get through this week. So other than that, I'll let you guys have at it.
What are some of the things you're looking for in phase 3, Coach?
Yeah, you get a chance to actually, see guys work and compete. Everything so far in phase 2 is very individual centered. as far as position groups, and it's unit centered. So you're doing a lot of things with unit, but you're not going up against anybody else. So you get a chance to actually guys compete a little bit. No pads on or anything like that, but get a chance to see now the schemes, guys picking up things in real time and real speed and execution against an actual defense and an offense and in special teams. So that's the part that's your next step. So it's very teaching focused here in phase 2. A lot of things schematically you're trying to get better at, working a lot of technique and fundamentals. And then you get into phase 3, you get a chance to see a little bit more application of those things you're working on. So excited about that. It's a good fit part of the off season. Last ramp up before training camp, really, when you're actually going against each other.
Looking back on last year and everything that you did in the whirlwind time, how did you change maybe the structure of what this offseason looked at, and has it paid off in any way?
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off. I can't make any statements about anything paying off now. We'll see in September, October, and from then on. But I reflected really hard on what I wanted the offseason to look like. It is definitely structured much different, just in terms of what we're emphasizing and how we're emphasizing it, how we set up our competition amongst our team, how we're going about the team building process. All of those things have changed a little bit for me, focusing a lot more on, the things that win and lose your football games at the end of the day, things that the penalties, the negative plays, the turnovers, those are the things that, we're focused heavily on and trying to make sure we do a better job executing those things in the moment. There's a lot more to it I could talk about. I'd probably take up the whole press conference probably, but definitely changed a little bit of the philosophy and formula, and hopefully that pays off for us.
How can you influence those things in phase 1, phase 2, even phase 3 when you don't have contact and helmets? How can you influence negative plays and penalties?
You emphasize it like crazy. We spent a lot of meeting time wise, where we went wrong last year. We did the self-scout portion of it. The technique of things, but it's just the emphasis of it, making guys aware. At some point I can take you guys through now, probably isn't the perfect time for it, but just how we've set up the off-season program. I think guys have really bought into it. You can maybe ask them a few more questions. Maybe they'll give you some more insight, but how we set it up, we divided our team into competitive teams. We have 8 teams now that compete daily, which you guys have seen some of the stuff on social media, just post-practice competitions. There's points on the line for everything we do. So there's an emphasis daily, and there's negative points. So to your point, Paul, about, how do you teach it? Well, if you jump off sides in a group drill, those are negative points for your team. And so it's emphasized every day. We look at it, we talk about it. It's on our players' forefront of their minds. So every time we step in the building. So those are the things we have to get better at for sure, on top of the scheme. But I'm excited about what we've done and how we've done it, and we'll see if it pays off.
Along those lines of adjustment and reflection, do you look back on the way everything happened with Levis? Just, hey, he's the quarterback, he's the starter. Do you look back on that, and does that influence how you're handling Cam Ward this year?
Yeah, I think we're all parts of our experiences lead us to how we operate, and you live and you learn through some of them. You make adjustments, you grow, you do things differently, and certainly there's parts of that I learned lessons in, and I've learned to move forward, and you try to grow and do it better the next time. I think that's everybody's goal, coaches, players. I think humans in general try to do that. So yeah, there's definitely parts of that I think we could have done a better job, and our job is to do it better the next time, and so that's where we're at.
For Dan Moore last year weren't necessarily great in terms of pass blocking. What do you feel like, what gave you guys the confidence that you guys went after him right away and gave him a healthy contract? What's the confidence there that he is the guy, kind of the answer at left tackle?
Yeah, I think you watch all those things. You watch the sacks they give up, you watch the pressures they give up, you watch penalties, and you try to determine what's fixable and maybe what isn't, and what you're okay with. And there's things that I think he can be corrected in technique-wise that are going to help him a lot. There's some things that, sometimes you just get beat by good players, which the AFC North has a few of them. And we'll see a few of them ourselves. And so there's that part of it. And how can you help in those situations schematically? But yeah, you watch all of it, and you have to go through and you see what's fixable and what maybe isn't fixable, but you can help with the process of it. So there's no perfect player. They're all going to have things that they got to get better at. And we felt really comfortable with Dan, and he's been fantastic since he's been here in that regard. So excited to have him.
It's been 68 days since you signed him.
Mhm.
We're just talking to him for the first time today. That seems kind of like purposeful avoidance for a guy that you're paying $20 million to. What's the rationale for that?
No, he was supposed to speak initially. He was leaving town the same day that he's supposed to come up. So that wasn't intentional by any stretch. There's no intent behind making him available or not making him available. We didn't parade any of our free agents out for press conferences this year. So I would say it's pretty standard operating procedure.
Has done maybe in the early stages of his professional career, and how's Will maybe adjusted to having more competition in the room?
Say that first part one more time.
How you think Cam has handled maybe his first couple of weeks, maybe working with the veterans, and how's Will maybe handled more competition in the room?
They both handled it really well. I've been pleased with their demeanor and their approach. Will's done a really nice job of getting better at things he needed to get better at. I felt really pretty good about his offseason work and how he's come back. Bless you. Cam has done a really nice job of integrating himself. And a lot of that is just knowing the play call, being able to spit it out in the huddle, having the tempo, getting familiar with the receivers and what the words mean and how to call it and how your snap count sounds. All that stuff has been really well done on his part. So they've both done a really nice job getting up to speed where they needed to. You know, both had different things that they're trying to get accomplished. But I'm happy with where that's at.
How do you split their work right now?
Right now, it's all evenly split. You know, we're not competing right now. It'll change probably a little bit when we get to the actual OTAs and we got 7-on-7 and some teamwork and stuff like that. But right now, there's, really not going against anybody. So we just roll through it. They're probably roughly about even all the way through, which is pretty standard for this time of year.
Obviously, the offensive line is paramount for you guys.
Yep.
For the last couple of years, you were last year specifically. The schedule comes out, and I know you're a long way from playing, but you're playing the team that led the league in sacks last year in the opener. Does that excite you that you're going to know what you got pretty quickly, or you wish you had a little bit of time there?
The focus is so small right now for us. We have so many things that we need to get better at that we focus on. The schedule sort of comes out and it's a big deal kind of outside in the outside world. And it's not like we didn't know we were going to play these teams. It's just a matter of when you're playing them. Opening in Denver, certainly a challenge. That's a hell of an environment. Was a part of that for a long time. And they got a good football team. So it's a good test out the gate for us. That's a really good defense. Very, very well coordinated. A lot of good talent. So yeah, it's a great challenge for us out the gate. And again, we don't get too far down the road thinking about it, but it's certainly going to be a fun opening environment.
For that game, would Cam going into that need to beat out the other three quarterbacks that are on the roster? Or are you kind of in a spot where Cam needs to have maybe just enough of a grip on what's going on in your system to have confidence in him to draw that first start?
Yeah, I think there's so much work to be done between now and then, particularly for him. So many things that you have to learn as a young quarterback. So I don't get too far down that road personally with him. We're focused on the next day really at this point. Trying to get him up to speed as fast as possible and get him ready so he can go compete for a job. And that's ultimately where it all lands right now. So not going to make too many proclamations about September here in May. So feel good about where we're at and the work he's put in, and we'll get there when we get there.
I saw some of the pictures of J.C. Latham. Looks a lot different. What are your thoughts on the body change and everything that?
He really committed himself to getting his weight at the range that he needed to get it to. He probably admittedly was heavy at the end of last season as the second half of the year wore on. He learned a lot of lessons himself, about what it takes to play tackle in this league, the caliber of players you face every week, and there's no letdown. And I think every rookie goes through that phase where they realize, man, whatever I did before, I got to do it better if I want to have a chance to be the player I think I'm capable of being. And JC's capable of being an excellent football player, and he really dedicated himself to changing his body. Like a lot of first-year players going into their second year, find ways to do. He looks great. He's in great shape. He's moving really well. I'm excited about where he's at. But all the credit goes to him and just understanding what he realized it was going to take to be the player that he wants to be, and he dedicated himself to it.
So that was his decision. It wasn't like the result of like the exit meetings last year. It was his decision.
Oh, sure. We had conversations about it. Obviously we track these guys' weight every week, and we're aware of where that's at. And one of the things that he was challenged to do was to get himself in a playing weight that's more suitable to play for 17 games at the level that he needs to play at. So, but he dedicated himself to doing it, and he did it. And right now he's in a really good place. So excited about that.
While he's been here, and just is the plan to handle him differently this offseason than kind of load management stuff? Because last offseason.
Yeah, I think there's a healthy balance there. He's coming back injury wise, so the rehab process is ongoing. He's in a good spot. Excited about where he's at, but there's definitely a part of like to practice more. I think he's on the same page too, where you got to balance those things. There's a management part for a lot of players, but there's also you got to practice and get better at your craft and continue to improve. So we'll balance that. I feel good about where that process is for us and for him. I think he's well on the same page as well.
Jefferson stats.
I'll come back, Paul. Go ahead.
Van Jefferson, I guess, had the one very good year, I guess, back in 2021, and other years not quite as productive. When you look back at what he's done, what did he do particularly well perhaps that year? And do you feel like you can bring that back out?
Yeah, I think Van's been a productive player. He's had some years, like I said, have been more productive than others. Some of that's just how the team was built around him. I think Puka came in at one point, and then you got Cooper, who became the point for that operation. But he's been a really solid player for every team he's played on, and he's been great so far. He's got some experience in the system and doing some of the things that we do, which is good. He's a pro's pro, obviously coach's son, so knows how to operate. Excited about what he can bring to us. I think he adds depth and competition to the room, which you can't ever have enough of that. But I'm excited to see how he comes out of it. I think he's determined to prove that he wants to show that he's more of what that productive season was than maybe what the last 2 or 3 have been. So you got a motivated player and a serious veteran player that I think is going to help us.
He's recently been among the worst in yards per route run. Is that picking up on what you're saying about the system or?
Yeah, I think those are things for every player that, some fits are better than others, and some of those, they go play places and they end up in a system where maybe it doesn't suit their strengths as well, and they go somewhere else and end up having some production that's exciting to see. So can't speak to the system necessarily that he was in or played in or the role that he played before, but I just know that he's got a chance to help us, and we're excited to have him.
You talked about speed rehab.
Yeah.
Are you talking knee? Are you talking quad? Are you talking both? And where is he in terms of full participation?
I mean, it's both. I mean, the knee is something that you manage all the time. And then, for the quad injuries, has taken some time to rehab from. So those things are still kind of ongoing, simultaneously. It's all part of the process for him. But he's in a great place. I'm excited about where he's at. He's progressing as expected.
Last year at camp, about 20% of the time, you expect your offense to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Do you have any expectation of what that was last year during the season? And is that the same expectation you have this year?
Say that first part one more time. Sorry.
You said last year in camp, about 20% of the time, you expect the quarterback to change the play at the line. Is that what happened last year? Do you have any?
Yeah, I would say, hard to put it out. I don't know if I have a number for you, but a lot of our offense is kind of built in terms of play calls. We'll call 2 plays most of the time in the huddle. We have a lot of checks that occur, especially on third downs with the protections. So play, protection, it all kind of fits in the same mold. Didn't do probably as much at the line of scrimmage as I would have wanted to for a lot of different reasons. It's something I'd like to do more of. We still invest in it. We still work on it. And those are things that you got to earn offensively. It's a way that's enjoyable to play football. I think when you're good at it, it can be a weapon for you. But there's 11 pieces that got to fit into that too, and how that fits in with the rest of it. So things we're working on, things I like a lot. I've been a part of no huddle systems a lot in my time. I've been a part of kind of quarterback at the line of scrimmage driven, but you got to earn that. You got to be able to operate that the right way, and then everybody else has to be able to operate it too. So it's a totality thing offensively, but it's certainly something that we're gonna keep diving into and keep trying to push the envelope on, and hopefully do more of.
With Pollard today, as you reflected on his first year here, anything you want to change with him as far as workload and as far as how many carries he has? Does that pretty much depend on his health or other factors?
Yeah, I think he's battling the second half of the year quite a bit, but I think in a perfect world, it's a healthier division of labor. I think he ended up carrying the ball a lot. He was our most productive running back, and then Tajay had some injuries early too, so he ended up playing a lot early, and then Tajay sort of came on as the year went on further. So I like really both of those players a lot. I think we can do a better job of managing that load so they both play a little more evenly. And allows us to maybe have a spot for a third back between Julius and Kalel, some heavier style back and runner. So hopefully that division of labor gets a little more evenly distributed, so he doesn't have to take the brunt of it, and we can get 17 games out of all those guys at their best.
Can you see leadership emerge in what you're doing now, and to what degree do you have to wait until? More serious in the long term.
That's a good question. It's something that we've really put a lot of work into. What I mean by that is it's an emphasis for us as well. Just like we emphasize trying to eliminate those negative plays and our execution, there is a leadership emphasis. And part of the reason I did what I did with our dividing our team up into teams is now they're all accountable to each other on that team. There's a leadership that starts to grow because now each team has a captain and an alternate, and now you've got more people in leadership spots. One of the things I think is unique about the process is it allows those guys to start to find their own voices, and it's not about an offense versus defense. It's much more of a holistic team approach to it. We encourage these guys to spend a lot more time together, both in the building and out of it. It's been a focus for us, and I think you can develop leadership. I don't think leaders are necessarily just walk into a room ready to lead. I think there's skills you have to learn. You have to have the communication as a leader. You have to know your teammates. We spend a lot more time trying to get to know each other on a level that I think is going to be beneficial to fostering more leadership for more people. One of the things I tell our team all the time that I think is really important is a lot of times you ask people, how do you lead? And most people say, I lead by example. And my retort to that is there's really no such thing in pro sports. Leading by example is the expectation. That's your job to be on time, to do what you're supposed to do, to work hard, to study. That's part of that's in your contract, And so my challenge to our team this year was to do more of the things that require bringing people with you, making other people better. And so leadership is something that we talk a lot about. It's a focal point of our off season. And the idea is that you develop a team full of leaders, and everyone has different styles. But it's something that I think the more people you have that are comfortable in those roles and understand that it's more about, how you interact with people and how you make people around you better. That part of it, I think, is something I'm excited about. So,
and how do you keep it going that way when you turn to offense, defense now?
For what? One more time.
The four teams.
There's 8 teams.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 8 of them.
And do you keep that going when you turn into offense, defense?
Yeah, it's all. They're still also. The cool part about it is, you can earn points a lot of different ways. For example, let's say defensively, Amani Hooker has an interception. That's a 3-point swing for his team. But on his team is also the quarterback. And the quarterback threw the interception, so that's a minus 3-point swing. So really, he's a net zero for his team for that particular play. But what it does is you see more communication, more conversation, more accountability to other folks around the team, and they get to know each other on a different level than maybe just offense and defense. That's one of the things I think we need to do a better job of, is just the whole team interacting more. Not just by position or by side of the ball. And I think so far it's been a lot of fun. I think the guys have enjoyed it, and I think it's also grown those leadership qualities, those accountability to each other, as opposed to just trying to be the best offense or the best defense that day. Thank you.
There you go. That is head coach Brian Callahan of the Titans. Some interesting stuff there. He did have some comments that I definitely want to react to and talk about. We will do that in the second hour here on Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Tuesday. Just heard from Brian Callahan and his presser. I actually thought there were some good things there. I mean, a couple of texters were like, he's just talking, doesn't believe. Chris in Nashville says, all talk, I don't believe anything Callahan says. Everything is great, but we win 3 games. Major disconnect.
What do you want to sound like, Winston Churchill?
I don't know.
Get it.
I liked some of the things that he brought up in that press conference, kind of going through. Dr. Crane's back there feverishly editing and pulling things, but like he talked about leadership and like guys that say they lead by example, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really like that. Like you're doing your job. That's not leading." And I was like, "Whoa, okay. I'm okay. I'm good with that. I like that." What did you think of that?
I like when you got a good mix of veterans that lead all together. Like when you think of the 85 Bears, who do you think of as a leader on that team?
The 85 Bear. I mean, they had a few.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, and the Ravens, I know they had Ray Lewis, but Ed Reed would step up and talk, and others would step up.
Well, I mean, you even compare it to here. You look at the Titans, McNair, George, D-Mace later on, Frank.
Yep.
On the defensive side, Randall Godfrey was huge. People, that will be Bullock. But I mean, early on when they got Godfrey, like I think that is so overlooked of how important he was. Samari Roll was one. Blaine Bishop obviously was one.
Chris Sanders talks about the wide receiver room, how they all didn't care who got the glory.
Yeah.
They all went together. And that's the thing. I don't want one guy stepping up and speaking all the time. I would love for those veterans to all come and lead by example.
And here's the other thing. Like Javon Curse. I don't look at Curse as a leader necessarily. I mean, he obviously led by doing his job and being effective at his job, but that's okay. That's why, like, I look at somebody like Jeffrey Simmons that they wanted to anoint him this leader of like, oh, he's got to lead, he's got to be the guy and all this stuff. No, he just needs to go out there and effectively perform. I don't necessarily need him to be this quote unquote leader.
I agree, 100%.
Captain, I mean, there's some guys are, some guys aren't. And I'm not saying he isn't, but there are other guys that need to handle some of that stuff. Let him go out and perform.
Oh, I totally agree with all that.
So, I thought it was interesting. The quarterback stuff. What do we have on the quarterback battle? Because I thought the quarterback stuff was pretty interesting that he had. This was Brian Callahan.
For that game, with Cam going into that, need to beat out the other 3 quarterbacks that are on the roster? Are you kind of in a spot where Cam needs to have maybe just enough of a grip on what's going on in your system to have confidence in him to draw that first start?
Yeah, I think there's so much work to be done between now and then, particularly for him. So many things that you have to learn as a young quarterback. So I don't get too far down that road personally with him. We're focused on the next day really at this point. Trying to get him up to speed as fast as possible and get him ready so he can go compete for a job. And that's ultimately where it all lands right now. So not going to make too many proclamations about that, about September here in May. So feel good about where we're at and the work he's put in, and we'll get there when we get there.
Everybody wants Brian Callahan to say, so Cam Ward is going to be our starter. They want him to say that on May 20th. Like that's what everybody's trying to get him to say. And I get it. You draft the guy number 1 overall. We're not stupid. We all know that that's probably going to be the long-term plan, but he doesn't have to say that right now. And that's okay. He's saying the right things where he's like, guys, look, we're just trying to get to the next day. Like this is a lot for a young guy, a young quarterback to learn.
Yeah. Right.
Now, the elephant in the room is Levis. And that's why I was like, if you can get rid of him, if you can move him to another team, do it, because you still have that there of, okay, is this a true competition or what's Levis doing? But for Callahan, I think he's handled that great. And so have the others, because I don't want them to say, yep, here on May 20th, he's our starter.
Yeah. Here's the deal is, come in, you got a lot of work to do, yada, yada, all that. And that's basically it. He's got to compete, work hard. Here's my thing. I don't care about Will Levis's feelings.
Oh, I don't either.
I know you didn't say that, but I don't care how Will Levis feels. You had your shot. You were terrible. Time to move on. Now it's Cam Ward's time. I don't care if your feelings are hurt that they drafted a quarterback number 1. I don't care. Now, Callahan was fine talking about his approach this year as opposed to next year. He answered what I wanted to hear. But, when a texter says, and I, to each their own, when he's like, I didn't say anything. I mean, I don't know what you want him to sound like. He answered the questions that I believe he's honest with them. And other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you on that. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, reacting to what Brian Callahan said this morning in his media availability, and talking about competition. What do you think about having he was kind of explaining this point system that he has the whole team split into teams and then kind of have that off-season competition? I don't know if I really care about that, but I mean, it's like, I get it because competitions, we all love to compete, right? So, I mean, if there's some sort of prize at the end of this, that if let's say there's Team Joe, Team Chase, Team Dr. Crane, we're all going to, be a little more amped up to compete for something.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's like, summer camp at the Y. Here's your, whoever comes first gets popsicles. I think it's useless. I don't like it. Just what happened to competing?
Yeah.
If you're good, you're going to play.
So you don't
If
like
not,
any kind of incentive or
no. Play your ass off and get the position. That's
I know,
it.
but you can't really do that right now because you're not hitting.
Then why have it? Then why?
I mean, I
feel
understand, but like
No.
this is Callahan kind of explaining it.
For what? One more time.
The four teams.
There's 8 teams.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 8 of them.
And do you keep that going when you turn into offense defense?
Yeah, it's all they're still also, the cool part about it is, you can earn points a lot of different ways. For example, let's say defensively, Amani Hooker has an interception. That's a 3-point swing for his team. But on his team is also the quarterback, and the quarterback threw the interception. So that's a minus 3-point swing. So really he's a net 0 for his team for that particular play. But what it does is you see more communication, more conversation, more accountability to other folks around the team, and they get to know each other on a different level than maybe just offense and defense. That's one of the things I think we need to do a better job of, is just the whole team interacting more, not just by position or by side of the ball. And I think so far it's been a lot of fun. I think the guys have enjoyed it, and I think it's also grown those leadership qualities, those accountability to each other, as opposed to just trying to be the best offense or the best defense that day.
I don't have a problem with it. Y'all are sitting here,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying you, Dr. Crane. I don't know what you feel about it yet, but like Jared from Spring Hill says, extra money would be the only prize, I think. Seems very middle schoolish. It's all for social media videos. Got to play rock, paper, scissors to compete.
Love it.
Here's my thing. At the end of the day, what are they doing? What is this?
I hope they're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, no. What do they do? What is football? It's a game. It's a game. They're playing a game.
Okay.
I understand they're professionals.
Right.
I understand they're making millions of dollars. You're not. I get it. But it's May. They're playing a game. He's trying to get this team to bond and get on the same page. I have no issue with this. And everybody that's going to sit here and complain about it and say it's middle schoolish and stuff, yeah, maybe it is.
It is.
But if they're enjoying it and they're having fun and it's making them a tighter team and they're learning as they go too, then what's the harm?
What happens when you force things usually?
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
When you force things, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But but if there's a buy-in, if the guys are bought in, he's got people on that team that could go to him and go, Coach, this is stupid. It's not working.
The buy-in should be, you're a damn professional football player. Here, the practice, go out and you're gonna learn.
Look,
you're gonna
dude,
do
I get it. Like everybody.
So what's next?
Everybody
sack race.
Everybody wants to say
Water on the head.
They're I would love to see that. Everybody wants to say they're professional football players. Does that mean they're not supposed to have fun?
You can. Okay, but when you
this
team won 3 games.
I get that.
Then take them to Nashville Shores. Go to beach. We run ads for Beach Bend, right? Go to Beach Bend. Beach Bend's wonderful.
Okay,
you can bond there.
But
I'll slap your bottom,
Joe,
all that other stuff. I don't care that they're having fun. Win games.
You played football.
At high level.
At different levels.
A very
At different
low level.
levels.
Right.
Did you guys not have? Yeah, you're working. I'm not doubting that. And when they get to training camp, they need to beat the you know what out of each other and slap pads and all that stuff, and let's see some progress. I 100%. But right now,
no. Spring Paul, nope.
I am okay with having different types of competition within the main competition.
Well, what time's the arts and crafts booth going to show up over there?
I don't know. I'll call and ask.
Work out, be in shape, get strong, go out and do drills. That's how you get better.
I think sometimes you have to simplify this. Like we want to
go bowling.
We want to hide behind that it's a professional sport. And they make millions of dollars, so they're not allowed to have feelings. They're not allowed to have fun. You know, all this stuff that we just bitch and moan about on a day-to-day basis. And it's like at the end of the day, if you want to get something right, simplify it. Make it a high school game again. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's a freaking game. That's what it is.
Not at this level.
Yes, it is. It is.
I get paid, man.
Look, we pay to go watch it. That's our choice. That we have decided as a society that we want to spend our hard-earned money to go watch a damn game, and we do it, and we love it. They're making their decision to play the game, but at the end of the day, it is a game, and they're allowed to have fun playing the game and leading up to things. I'm not saying they're not working; they are, but you know, if he wants to come up with a silly little point system to create more incentive and stuff like that,
a silly little.
It is silly, but it's fun. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
So, real quick story: 2007, the New York Giants were all going through these camp and everything, and everybody's been up because Tom Coughlin's an ass. So Michael Strahan goes to Coughlin and says, "Stop, just stop it. Stop all this. We're gonna do something fun. Let's go bowling as a team. Get away from the facility and do that." Tom Coughlin said it was the greatest thing a player ever told him. What happened in 2007? They won the Super. I'm not saying the Titans go in the Super Bowl, but there's a time and place for the lollygagging, pitching you on the bottom.
It's May.
Get off the facility. Go bowling. Go to Beach Bend. But when you're on the field, I don't want some silly game. It's just ridiculous. You're wasting time.
Okay, in August in training camp, I'm with you. In May, it's not a
wait
big
till
deal.
August to do this?
No, I'm saying you can do this stuff right now. It's not a big deal. 615-737-1025. A lot of you want to react to this. We're having a nice little discussion
Team
here.
Joe, Team Chase. Hashtag.
Basically, that's what this is. 615-737-1025 is Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 1025, 1063 The Game.
teams.
There's 8 teams.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 8 of them.
And do you keep that going when you turn into offense defense?
Yeah, it's all they're still also, the cool part about it is, you can earn points a lot of different ways. For example, let's say defensively, Amani Hooker has an interception. That's a 3-point swing for his team. But on his team is also the quarterback, and the quarterback threw the interception. So that's a minus 3-point swing. So really he's a net 0 for his team for that particular play. But what it does is you see more communication, more conversation, more accountability to other folks around the team, and they get to know each other on a different level than maybe just offense and defense. That's one of the things I think we need to do a better job of, is just the whole team interacting more. Not just by position or by side of the ball. And I think so far it's been a lot of fun.
Now go get me a juice box. You know who you're talking to. I'm talking to the juice box guy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty. Why don't you grab me a juice box? I'm no juice box boy, I'll tell you that. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. You're like your old man. I'm not like my old man. If it wasn't for these kids, I would whip your butt. I can take a punch. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Well done.
Is that from what's the movie?
Kicking and Screaming?
Yes.
Very nice. Good job, Dr. Crane. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Tuesday. Having a spirited discussion on this, the little point system game that that Callahan and the Titans are doing. A lot of you have weighed in. Wes wants to weigh in on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. What's up, Wes?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Oh, man, this has got me torn. And what I'm going to say here, I made sure I thought about this before I called in to say it. I know this is going to make me sound like the get off my lawn guy, but maybe I'm the only one with this mindset. I just don't think it's a good idea to be going around with like these new rules and point system for practice when we don't even know the regular rules in a game. Hello, Cole Anderson and special teams. How about y'all focus on the real rules and the real point system? And then once we get that down and can get through a full season without having like some crazy dumb thing happen in the game from not knowing the rules, then we can start doing cool, fun stuff like this. That's just my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. I think Joe probably agrees with that. Thanks,
Thank you.
Wes. Yep. So there's one for you. Jared from Spring Hill. Seems like there is so much they can work on. Having fun is winning football games. Not this offseason stuff where 45% of the team is gone in a couple of months.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm with that one.
Skylar says, you have fun when you win. The Patriots hated practice and Bill Belichick, but love to win those Super Bowls.
That's exactly right. It's practice. You know what you're doing. Go out there and get better. Not deducting 3 points because Tim Boyle threw an interception to Nick Frazier.
Benjamin says, Joe, you are wrong, LOL. Tell me one reason how this hinders the team.
What are you working on?
You're working on a lot of stuff. I mean, you're working on the scheme. You're
not.
learning the plays.
You're having fun. According to you, the silly little game we're playing out there. You're
doing both.
You're
having
the playbook.
You're having fun. Yeah, you are.
You're
running
like
plays.
Doesn't sound like it.
You're not hitting. You're in shorts and a t-shirt.
I mean, I get all that. You want to have fun? Go to summer camp.
They're not out there playing hopscotch. Okay.
Do we know that?
Yes.
I don't know. But the comment earlier about all these pictures for social media, that's what it's come to now. Like, remember this?
So you think this is just a big thing for Titan social media?
You won 3 football games.
You think Nate Bain went to Brian Callahan and said, hey, I need you to come up with a point system so I can get more videos?
Probably not. But I don't know which way it goes. But just stop, get up there and work on things.
They are.
I'd rather see you in the weight room. Go to the weight room.
They are doing that.
Do yoga.
Can they not do both?
Not the silly little game they're playing out there. I'm sure Callahan's got that water noodle. He's slapping guys in the ass.
1 point Gryffindor.
Running around. Gotcha. Tag, you're it. Marco Polo. Just nonsense. You won 3 football games. I mean, stop this.
Dylan and Antioch, 100% agree, Chase. This team sucked so bad last year, they need some of the most basic team building activities. Like you said, this is a game.
Oh,
they
man.
do. Matt, do whatever it takes to get them to win. Childish or not, as long as it works. 2113 or 2133. Are the millions they make not the incentive? Big Joe is 100% correct.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I don't see these guys playing slap ass around the line. Don't just work hard, go through drills, work on the swim technique and your rip and your bull rush. Do all that
They're
stuff.
doing all that.
Sounds like they're
doing
having
both.
fun.
They're not all. They're okay. So you think that they are not allowed to have 1 ounce of fun?
At what point did he say we're having practice? It was he talked about this silly game they're playing over there. What's next? Have a guy come out and make balloons? Jeffrey, what would you like? Would you like a balloon of
They actually called. They asked if you could do that.
of a giraffe? Here you go, buddy. Nonsense.
3337. Things have changed a lot. These kids are gamers. They want to play games.
All right.
2192 says team chase. Kevin, you guys look like you're about to fight on YouTube. Tell Big Joe to cool his jets, man.
I just think it's just a bunch of nothing. man.
Tommy says, if they want to play games, can I buy a ticket with Monopoly money?
Why are we not invited out there? Right.
Justin and Greenbrier. I get it, Chase. It just sounds silly, but I get it. Callahan is trying something different to get these guys to buy in and create a team atmosphere. He is trying to get them to bond together. Now that you put it into perspective, it makes more sense. We do tend to get so wrapped up in our sports teams and passion about them winning, we lose sight of the fact that they really are just playing a game for a living.
Okay. All right.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you something. Do you think this team was a cohesive fight for the guy next to you team last year?
I don't think it's been that way for a while.
Right. I think that's what he's trying to get. I think he's trying to get these guys on the same page. And if I'm right on that, then good on him for, I mean, you obviously, that as the head coach, you need to have the pulse of your team to know if they're on the same page or not.
Right. Okay.
And I think he walked into this year after last year going, we weren't on the same page. Now, you can sit here and make the argument, well, he's splitting everybody into other teams. But my guess is he's putting guys together that he knows need to become more of a cohesive unit. So, I mean, I certainly hear both sides of the argument, but I think that's what he's after.
Okay.
And look, if we walk into training camp and we see like, hey, you can tell these guys are more on the same page than they were last year, then I expect an apology.
You will not get it.
0388. So does the winning team get a pizza party for the week? So lame.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Patrick, this sounds like something you do at summer camp, not a pro football practice. Seems a big bunch of nonsense, but I'm a Bills fan, so what do I know? Yeah, how's that work for you?
Right.
Benjamin, bro, does Joe not understand it's a point system within the practice?
No, I don't.
Kevin, Big Joe just wants the Titans to be miserable in practice. Be miserable so they can suck, since they all suck anyway, according to Jared. Jonathan, classic Joe. If he doesn't agree with something, everybody else is wrong about it.
Classic Peg.
Ryan in Florida. So if the Titans are playing fantasy the Titans are playing fantasy football at training camp.
Sounds
It's
like
not
it.
training camp. So
What's it called now?
it's OTA. It's
OTA.
phase 2, whatever.
Phase 3.
Phase
Yep.
3.
I will say I've been in this system before when you divide your position groups into 8 teams. And I went through it all through high school up until my senior year because Brian Rector thought that was a stupid idea. And we ended up doing it my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And we had a launch pad for special teams. And there was like team purple, team red, team white. And like same thing Callahan's talking about. If you get an interception, you get 3 points, whatever. Well, the losing team or that losing position group, there was like 4 of them of the day. You had to go run 16 110s after practice, which was awful. Like, I get it makes you want to compete and not have to do conditioning, but I think it's a stupid thing.
But see what that does. Oh my God, I just had a flashback. So what that does when I got a player next to me, say like a David James, who half-asses through practice, I'm mad at him. So there's no team building. I'm mad at him for not pulling his weight. And the next guy. I've been on that. It's not fun. It doesn't work out correct like you think it does. Like we're all pulled together. Nope. Story years ago. There's a guy in Texas basketball missed practice, early morning practice, right? So instead of him running, Coach Tom Penders, instead of making him run, the guy that missed practice, made the entire team run and had the guy sit in the stands. That right there is not team building, but man, you pissed somebody off right there. So what do you think the Texas basketball team thought about that guy that made them run? Didn't go over well. Stop with the nonsense. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow.
I just got word that St. Thomas Sports Park has just been renamed Camp Krusty. So they'll be eating gruel.
Oh,
And then at the end, they'll be going to Tijuana. I've been asked to ask you, did you enjoy it when Malarkey brought in the shaved ice truck?
Yeah, because I got shaved ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's after practice.
Sure.
That's after you had a practice.
They're practicing. They're practicing.
Oh, you lost a point there, Chase.
They're practicing the most they can in May. It's May. It's May 20th.
Lord.
Coming up next, I think I'm going to get Joe even more fired up. He's already fired up. The Athletic, Stuart Mandel has a list, the top 25 college football teams since the year 2000.
I've not seen the list.
You have not seen the list.
But I texted you. If one team is not number one, then that list is garbage.
Which you said.
I'll tell you.
Okay, we'll do that coming up next. It's Chase and Big Joe here on a Tuesday from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service.
up, campers. It's a glorious morning. Today is evaluation day. The key word here is value. Do you have any? Not yet. But by the end of the summer, this camp's going to be filled with skinny winners.
Skinny wieners? You hear that, guys?
Do you think I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. I just believe in you. And I believe in you. Call and order now. All right. Let's go get our hands dirty. Live!
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. I don't know what that was from.
Heavyweights, the Disney movie.
Oh, is that Heavyweights?
Incredible movie.
No idea what that was.
Really?
What's that movie about? And don't say Heavyweights.
It's actually it's a fat camp.
Ah,
And all the
yes.
kids there, they're basically sneaking in Snicker bars,
Oh, okay.
all that. And so this guy, Ben Stiller, in the movie, is doing an infomercial, and he's trying to change this fat camp into a fit camp. And so he's putting them through like a boot camp. It's, funny, but I guess not.
All right, real quick. I wanted to get to this because I saw it last night and was like, oh, I got to bring this up with Joe. So The Athletic is doing a series of the top 25 teams, players, coaches, games, things like that in college football in the first 25 years of the 2000s. So
Okay.
this is the top 25 college football teams since the year 2000. So for reference,
Individual year.
individual
Okay,
years.
all
So Nick Saban and Alabama has 6 teams on this list.
Okay.
Let's start. We'll get to number 1 in a second. So number 25, the 2006 Florida Gators.
Chris Leak, not a bad
Yep.
team. All right.
That was when Tebow was a freshman and, made a few appearances and everything, but it was before he kind of got anointed. 24, the 2014 Ohio State Buckeyes.
It's a good football team. Should be higher.
23, the 2016 Clemson Tigers.
Okay.
22 is the 2010 Auburn Tigers.
Okay.
21, 2004 Auburn Tigers.
Didn't win the national champ. Well, didn't win. They won
I
one.
mean,
of them, but not-
yeah, I mean, that was kind of what changed everything.
Yes.
Number 20, the 2000 Oklahoma Sooners.
Josh Heupel's team.
Yep. 19, 2002 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Shouldn't have been there. They got robbed. Miami got robbed the national championship game, but we'll move on.
18, the 2015 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Derrick Henry's last year.
17, 2008 Florida Gators.
Very good football team. Bunch of crooks, but a good football team.
16, 2011 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Okay.
15, 2012 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, they beat Notre Dame.
14, the 2019 Ohio State Buckeyes.
The 2019?
Yep.
They didn't win a champ. Okay, whatever.
13, 2005 USC Trojans.
Good football team.
12, 2013 Florida State Seminoles.
Should have been ranked lower.
11, 2023 Michigan Wolverines.
Good football team. Yep.
And now the top 10. The 2000 Miami Hurricanes.
Good team, but did not win. 2000 did not win a championship though.
Number 9, 2009 Alabama Crimson Tide.
It's a good team. That was the first one under Saban. Mark Ingram.
Yep. Number 8, 2016 Alabama Crimson Tide.
2016.
Yep.
Did not win a national championship, so no.
Number 7, the 2022 Georgia Bulldogs.
Good team.
Number 6, 2018 Clemson Tigers.
Won the championship. That was a great team under Trevor Lawrence as a freshman.
We enter the top 5. 2004 USC Trojans.
Yeah, I like 5 better, but
That was
all right.
Leinert's Heisman year, right?
Correct.
Number 4, 2020 Alabama Crimson Tide.
COVID
I
did
think
not
underrated.
Yes, did not put enough eyeballs on that team. That was a good team.
The top 3. All right. Now I'm going to let you guess.
Well, number 1 better be LSU 2019. Other than that, I don't care. Not to be a jerk. I'm
Sure.
just saying. So who's number 3?
2005 Texas.
Probably should be number 2, but that's okay. They steamrolled everybody.
You are forgetting a big one. Number 2 is the 2019 LSU Tigers.
They're number 2.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. That's absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I don't. Number 1, 2001 Miami Hurricanes.
Not at all. Not
you don't
at all.
think you don't?
Nope.
I think
Compare numbers, compare guys who made it to the next level. I'm taking that 2019 LSU team over all those. It's not even close.
so. You go at that.
What's the
LSU
guy's
team.
name? Howie Mandel that did this?
Stuart
Mandel. He wants us to be click and go at him. I bet he's got a million comments about, oh, you should have, and I'd be one of those if I cared that deeply. But LSU should be number one. Not doubt in my mind.
Okay.
Look at the firepower on that team from top to bottom. It's an amazing football team.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think
I mean,
think
the
Mi-
01 Miami team
I
pounded
think Miami.
Nebraska.
I think Miami. That 01 Miami team is that like it could almost be 1A 1B.
Remember who they beat in the Rose Bowl? The guy who won the
No.
Heisman Trophy, that team they played.
01
Yeah. Played Nebraska.
Nebraska. Oh yeah,
Eric Crouch.
Eric Crouch. Yep.
They beat him silly. But Nebraska wasn't that great of a football team. That LSU team steamrolled through the SEC. They were so good. Now I'm fired up. Good
I
job.
told you I
Chase.
was going to get you fired up.
You did what you set out to do. Sad to do that to your friend.
Let's see. We've got a few people. Kevin says Big Joe looks like a skinny Caucasian version of Dan Lebertard on YouTube.
I've never been called skinny in my entire life, so thank you.
2438 says sorry, but the 21 and 22 Georgia Bulldogs should be number 2 and number 3 behind 2019 LSU.
I like preach.
Behind LSU? Oh, behind LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Viking Matt, where's the 2003 USC team?
That was they won it all, right? Yeah, 03. They had a nice little couple of years of run there.
It just
'cause
has 04 and 05 for USC.
Pete Carroll's paying all the players.
Yeah, because they had to vacate that one, right?
The 04 they did.
04?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So interesting. I like these lists. We're in list season, but I thought that would get you.
Drop it.
Deal or no deal?
That was loud.
That was supposed to be
This
Howie,
board, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get used to this board with all the stuff on
Howie
it now.
Mandel. That's true.
What's changed with the board? There's
They're
nothing.
just like some of the gains are just higher. And I'm trying to get used to it.
Oh.
That was awful.
It's terrible.
You were so excited. You,
He said drop it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Sorry. I'm sorry. We got to get a camera on him during the show, man. Oh God, that was louder than the AC/DC show tonight. Good loud.
Dylan and Antioch said that 09 Dwight Dasher MTSU team was pretty damn good. It was pretty good.
If you're a betting man, that was a good team.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, you should have gone there.
Hey yo. All right, there you go. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays here on Chasing Big Show. 1025, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Tuesday. This week's Nashville's best deal, Brian Callahan and the Titans, Beach Bend Park and Splash Lagoon with a buy one, get one free admission. They're going next week. Beach Bend Park and Splash Lagoon, where parking, tubes, and sunscreen are always free and points. Get this great deal now at theGameNashville.com/deals while supplies last.
You need to send that over to them and say, hey.
I couldn't resist. By the way, I forgot to do this because we had a spirited debate, but we'll have more Cracker Barrel 400 tickets to give away tomorrow.
Good.
So we'll be doing that for sure. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Jared Companies, Inc. Use their electrical division for installations, inspections, upgrades, and more. That's jaredcompaniesinc.com. They are above and beyond industry standards.
All right, gentlemen. First, unless we have Be a Millionaire Day. That'd
Wish.
be nice. Dinosaur Day is next.
Love dinosaurs.
Let's see. Eliza Doolittle Day is today. Let's see. Next one we have is Flower Day. I feel like there have been a lot of flower days recently. International Clinic Trials Day. Don't want to be a part of that. International Red
Joe
Sneaker Day. Are you, Joe? Really?
I am. Yep.
What time?
What clinic?
Yeah.
I give a clinic on how not to run a football camp every day from 9 to 11.
Don't
It's
include
pretty
the
fun.
ice machine, right?
Not at all.
Next one we have is an International Red Sneaker Day. So people that like to wear red sneakers.
There's a significance behind that. Does it say what it is?
No, it's showing just Converses, red Converses.
Okay. All right.
Next one we have is National Quiche Lorraine Day. Ooh, quiche.
How's she doing, Lorraine?
She, you know what? Probably doing all right.
Good.
National.
David James knew her Quiche Lorraine, right?
He's shaking his head. He does.
Did you meet her in Amsterdam, David?
Oh, it was Norway.
Or
Norway.
Norway.
Or it?
When you were backpacking.
Oh, National Streaming Day is next, followed by National Sugar Bee Apple Day. That looks delicious. Pick Strawberries Day is today.
what we're
Weigh
doing
and
later.
Measures Day. That's what Brian Callahan's doing with JC Latham, weighing
Yeah.
and measuring.
Yep.
World Autoimmune Arthritis Day. Wow, interesting. Arthritis. Hate that for the people with the hands. World Bee Day is today, and then World Flower Day.
World Bee Day.
You said World Flower Day twice.
All
It's
right.
a different flower. It's the one you cook with.
Okay. God, I got a great joke here. But I really like this job.
Let her go.
Really like this job. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these within two. Our first birthday, Cher.
Ooh.
How old is Cher today?
80.
82.
79. 30 would have worked too, because that's how old her body parts are. Juju on that one. Never heard of that guy.
He's never heard of you.
Yeah, right. You better. No, haven't heard. Oh, rapper Busta Rhymes.
47.
44.
53. Not heard of that guy. No, jeez, a lot of these I haven't heard of. All right, actor Dave Thomas. He was in TV show Grace Under Fire. He's also a member of Second City TV. He was part of the Brew Brothers. Him and Rick Moranis. They had I forget what their name they had, but
65.
67.
77. Lead guitar player of the Go-Go's, Jane Weedland.
68.
72.
67. Chasers up 2-0. Actor Bronson Pinchot. He was in Perfect Strangers. He was also Serge in Beverly Hills Cop, the first one. He's probably in the other one too, but actor Bronson Pinchot. He's also in Risky Business with Tom Cruise.
74.
81.
66. Actor Tony Goldwyn. He was the bad guy in Ghost. The bad guy
yeah.
in the movie Ghost.
66.
71.
65. Chaser up 3-0. Strong defense today. She played Natalie on The Facts of Life. Mindy Cohn.
64.
61.
59. Dr. Crane's on the board. It's 3-1. Country singer John Party. Yeehaw!
34.
36.
40. All right, time. We got 2 sports birthdays today. David Wells, former New York Yankee pitcher. David Wells.
59.
54.
62. So our last birthday, it's 3-1. Chase is up. Dr. Crane, you could tie. This would be great. Our last birthday, and then Chaser better get this one. Tony Stewart. What's his nickname?
Smoke. 51.
55.
Oh, he's 54. Not
Wow.
enough. Chase wins 3-2. Good job, though.
Well done, Chase.
Guys
Good
are
job, Dr.
terrible
Crane.
once again.
Thank you. And thank you for listening today. That's going to do it for us.
As we live every show, we love to have fun on our show, but at the end of the day, we care about our guys out there. We care about you and what you're going through. If you are struggling, we say all the time on your cell phone, you can call or text 988 every time. Look, we've said all the time that if something happened to you, you'd be tremendously missed in this world. I promise you. So whatever you're going through, it's okay. We all go through it, and we're here for you. Again, you can call or text 988. So you'll be tremendously missed. That's why we tell you every day that you are tremendously loved. Somebody, when they think of your name, they smile because of you. Know that. Know that we love you. And more important, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD is coming up next here on 102.5, 106.3, The Game.